So Joe, a great win in the first race of the weekend here at Brands. Your second win in 2 years here, because you won in British F4 as well, so you must like this circuit.
Yeah, it's a good track for me. You know, obviously being on pole, it was always going to be a pretty simple race. So yeah, it was just all about maintaining it, the gaps, and just doing everything that we needed to.
And you spoke earlier about how critical the start is. You led into Paddock Hill, and you controlled it from there. Were you under any pressure from voicing it at all?
Obviously, it's always constant pressure when you're leading, because you know, if you make a mistake, you're not going to be leading anymore. But at the same time, you know, it was just one of those races where I just kind of maintained the gap up front. You know, I didn't drive away. I probably could have if I tried, but it just wasn't worth any risk. You know, I wanted to save the tyres for the reverse grid races. That's probably what we'll be running. So yeah, obviously the 2 safety cars helped quite a bit. So yeah, just happy with the result.
And how fragile are the tyres here with the heat? Although the 2 safety cars, I'm sure, helped.
Yeah, obviously the safety cars helped, and to be honest, we weren't really weaving too much under the safety car, just purely because the tyres were already warm enough as it was. So yeah, it was just, you know, maintaining the tyres, making sure I saved them as much as I could, made sure I kept them nice and clean, and then yeah, just made sure that you know, the tyre didn't drop off, I didn't kill it or anything. So yeah, it was just maintaining, and it was a pretty simple race, to be honest.
And on the second restart, you backed up. You didn't go as early as maybe you could have, but still, I suppose that's all within the rules.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing, you know, the leader dictates the pace until the line, so, you know, I can go whenever I want, really, and I don't actually have to go after the line. You know, it's not against any rules, obviously, but they can pass me once we get to the line, so, you know, I just left it later because I'd gone so early in the first one, and the main thing is that I wasn't, you know, just going and then backing up. That's the rule that I think you're on about. But yeah, I was just maintaining the same pace, and then just waited for, you know, when I saw Callum start to drop back from me, I just went, and it was the restart that I needed on both times, and you know, it made sure I had a good enough gap into turn 1 and 2 to be able to keep leading, and from then on it was pretty simple.
And how do you manage that situation at the restart? Is it just looking in the mirrors to see where voicing was behind?
Exactly, yeah, you're just basically staring in your mirror the whole time. You're not really looking where you're going because you're going so slow. So yeah, it was just, you know, looking at the gap, making sure that I had a good gap to be able to just pin it and try and drive away from him, and that was what we did. And
because this is your first podium since one of the races at Spa, so do you feel the ascendancy is with you now? Momentum's with you?
Yeah, the momentum is with me. Obviously, we've got a good race tomorrow as well, starting P2. I want to try and beat Callum in that one ideally. But no, it's a good start to the weekend, and it's a nice way to try and, you know, pick up the momentum for the rest of the year. You know, it's going to be a tricky season, and it's not going to be easy to beat these guys, but we're going the right way about it at the moment. And yeah, I'm sure we can pick up some more wins.
And what are you expecting tomorrow, of course, with the 2 races, and in race 2 voicing's on pole and you're just on the front row in second?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be tricky. My start was a lot better than Callum's in that race, which is, you know, giving me a bit more hope than what I had originally. I think I can put a challenge to him on lap 1. Obviously, starting on the outside is going to be tricky, but you know, it's possible, and there is a possibility that I'll be able to attack him, and you know, I'll do my absolute utmost to try and, you know, get myself on the inside of him or even run the outside of him. And I'll be trying my absolute best to make sure I beat him tomorrow.
And do you feel that is it all about weighing up that risk of going around the outside or up the inside at Paddock Hill, whereas versus the championship?
It's obviously always a risk, but at the same time, it's the same risk for Callum. So, you know, if I'm going to go for a move, I'm going to make sure I'm far enough alongside. I'm not going to risk any contact, anything like that. But Callum's going to be thinking the same. You know, he can't afford to have any contact like Alex did today, because Alex has just lost 35 points to me, plus fastest lap as well. So, you know, you can't afford to not finish races, and I found that out at Snetterton quite badly. Otherwise, I'd be leading this championship right now. But you know, you just got to make sure you're finishing every race, even if you're not P1 every time. As long as you're that, you know, the top 5, top 6, you're always going to be picking up points, and you're always going to be in the fight at the end.
Thanks so much. So Timek, a P5 in race 1, a nice recovery after starting P10, and especially with the double safety car period as well.
Yeah, it's been a decent race. You know, the most important thing is that we recovered after quali. and scored some good points. I think it was hard to do anything more than that.
And how tricky was it with the dirty air?
You know, on this track it's always very hard to pass, so have to maximize the opportunities on the first lap and after safety car, because yeah, possibly it's the only time of the race that you can pass. So yeah, it was quite hard with dirty air. You know, this track is so fast, we use a lot of downforce here, so every time you have a car even like less than 2 seconds in front, it affects the car quite a lot.
And how much are you enjoying this track? You said earlier this year you were looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I do really like this track. It's amazing track actually. You know, all the elevation changes, the way the track is built in the middle of the forest, and you know, the barriers are so close to the track as well, and it's quite tricky, but yeah, I love it.
And can you shed any light on the situation with the crowdfunding?
Sorry?
Can you shed any light on the situation with the crowdfunding?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's been hard so far this year. Yeah, I think it's been, since Silverstone we are struggling to find the funding to finish the season. We see what we can do. Yeah, I don't know what will future bring us.
And what are you expecting tomorrow?
The same thing, just to recover. The starting position is not that good, so just to score some good points.
Do you have anything to say in Polish? Do you want to say something in Polish?
Dobry wyścig za nami, 5. miejsce z 10. Zmaksymalizowaliśmy wszystkie możliwości do wyprzedzania na pierwszym kółku i po safety carze, więc dobra robota też przez zespół, że zdążyli naprawić moje auto na wyścig, bo naprawdę było tam blisko z czasem, więc ogólnie zadowolony z performance.
So, here with John Bennett and James Headley after race 1 at Brands. P7 for you, John, and P4 for you, James. Let's start with you, John. How was the race for you?
It was a decent start up to P5, and then obviously safety car on lap 1. Had the safety car restart behind James, and he was absolutely asleep off the restart, so he backed me up a bit, and then Timmett got down my inside for turn 1. I was backed up again on the inside for turn 2, so Reese went around my outside, so I was back down to P7. And then after that I was just settling into the rhythm. I felt a lot stronger on pace than Reese and Timmett in front, which is always good. So overall a strong result, and then tomorrow will just be maximising turn 1. So.
And James, P4 for you, just couldn't get on the podium, but how was the race for you?
Yeah, it was a good race, bad restart as John mentioned, but yeah, good race. As you said, couldn't quite get on the podium, very close off the line. Didn't quite get the optimum start that I needed, neither did Creswell, so it made it very close, but so he just managed to keep onto it, which is fair enough. And yeah, just missed out on that podium, but we got another shot tomorrow, don't we? So.
And staying with you, James, because Alex Dunn didn't finish the race. That's a plus for you in the championship. Do you that can help you a lot next tomorrow and going into Zandvoort?
Yeah.
With the points?
Yeah, of course it's going to help me, of course. Obviously, Creswell just gained a little bit on me there, but yeah, they're the big one, like as you said, Dunn, that'll be useful. Obviously, in the championship order, you know, I was third in that race, you know what I mean? Well, position-wise in the championship, so race position, I mean. But, you know, yes, it was a, yeah, yeah, just yeah, it was a good points haul and a good little catch-up to the rest of the pack. So.
And John, of course, there were two restarts out there, yeah. And Loke took a long time to get going in the second one. What was your take on that?
A little bit controversial. I know normally you wouldn't want to start that late. It can be a bit risky if cars at the back think you're going and then you don't. So yeah, I mean he wasn't erratic, it was just very late, so but it was alright. I don't think there was any crashes out there. So.
And James, what's your take on the restart?
Yeah, it was late. I probably went and didn't went and went and didn't went like 3 times. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's in the rules. I think it was safe enough, just about. So yeah, it was just one of those kept on guessing, but you know, he did a good job with it. So yeah, it's what it is.
And what are you expecting tomorrow, of course, with the race 2 and then the reverse grid?
Yeah, more points than the reverse grid. That'll be a really good one for the points, and then tomorrow's just again off the line, review the start today, maximise it tomorrow, and attack for those more points and podiums.
And John, what are you expecting tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be maximising lap 1 and then settling to the rhythm as usual. See what I can pick off in the reverse grid. I think pace is good, so yeah, it's just maximising any opportunity because it's so hard around there.